The Galactic Council gathered beneath the mirrored arches of the Orion Conclave, a structure older than most species present. It was a monumental day, or at least it was supposed to be. Representatives from over 1,000 civilizations had convened to discuss the human problem. What began as curiosity about Earth's rapid rise had turned into deep unease. The humans were spreading faster than any projected model could predict. They built colonies where no other species dared to land. They mined, terraformed, and rebuilt with reckless ambition. The council chair, an elder being of crystalline composition, struck the signal tone. The sound rippled through the chamber like a chime across time itself. The matter of Earth must be resolved, it declared, its voice echoing through the chamber. Their disregard for interstellar boundaries cannot go unanswered. Murmurs filled the assembly. Some called humanity dangerous. Others called them naive. But none could deny that humanity had become impossible to ignore. The problem was simple on the surface. Humans refused to submit to the Council's regulations. Yet beneath that defiance lay something deeper. The humans didn't fear anyone. When the first Council patrols entered human territory to remind them of galactic law, the humans responded with silence. No weapons, no threats, just silence. The patrols that returned reported a strange calm. The humans smiled too much, spoke too little, and never showed fear. But then came the first attacks, not from humans but against them. A coalition of lesser species, believing humanity to be weak, had launched assaults on outer colonies. They expected easy victory. What they got instead was annihilation. The Earth fleet did not retaliate in anger. It retaliated with precision. It struck only once per aggressor world, disabling weapons, dismantling orbital defenses, and broadcasting a single message: we remember who drew first blood. After that, they vanished, their ships slipping back into the void like ghosts. The Council met again and again, each time growing more agitated. They saw humanity's strength as insolence, their calmness as mockery. So they did what arrogant powers often did. They demanded submission. The humans were summoned to the next conclave, and for the first time in decades, a representative from Earth appeared. The human envoy walked alone into the center of the chamber. No guards, no entourage, just a figure wrapped in a simple dark uniform bearing the insignia of Earth. Every species in attendance fell silent. The envoy placed a small black cube on the table, before the council chair. The cube projected a hologram of the Earth fleet, hundreds of ships forming a silent ring around a blue planet. The envoy's voice was calm and low. Before this council continues its accusations, you must understand something fundamental about humanity, they said. We came to the stars not to conquer but to survive. We tried diplomacy. We tried cooperation. We even tolerated your attacks. But the time for patience is drawing thin. The council chair leaned forward, its crystalline body pulsing with light. Humanity has violated territorial accords, resisted taxation, and refused military oversight. You call that patience? The envoy smiled faintly. We call it restraint. The room filled with whispers. Several delegates laughed, nervous, brittle laughter. The envoy continued undeterred. For years we have watched your fleet circle our borders. We have seen your spies in our systems, your ships blocking our trade routes. And yet we still send relief to your famine worlds. We still offer medicine when your people fall to plague. You interpret that as weakness. It is not. The hologram shifted. It now showed fleets larger than anything the council had seen. Ships bearing no official registry, no signatures. Silent, black, and vast. These, the envoy said, are the ships we built in secret. Not for expansion, not for pride, but as a final guarantee. If you continue attacking us, if you continue pushing us, then we stop pretending to be courteous. You will see what Earth has truly prepared for. The chamber erupted in chaos. Cries of outrage, disbelief, and fear rippled through the assembly. The chair pounded its staff against the floor, demanding order. But beneath the noise, every delegate's translator whispered the same haunting phrase again and again. We stopped pretending to be courteous. After the envoy left, the council entered emergency session. Some demanded war. Others demanded surrender. But none could agree on what to do next. The humans had left behind one more gift, a set of coordinates. A scouting fleet was sent to investigate. What they found changed everything. At those coordinates floated a station unlike any other. Not a weapon, not a fortress, but a museum. Inside it were relics of Earth's past. Photos of the first moon landing, recordings of human laughter, art painted by children. And beneath it all, etched into steel, were words that shook the most hardened generals. We fought ourselves for millennia. You think you can scare us? Weeks passed. The Council attempted to contact Earth again, to reason, to negotiate. The humans replied once with a simple transmission. It was the same envoy's voice. We are not your subjects. We are not your enemies. But if you insist on treating us as prey, then you will meet the predators you awakened. What followed was silence. The Council sent one last desperate message, this time threatening blockade and embargo. The humans responded not with words, but with movement. Across the galaxy, human fleets emerged from dark space, silent, coordinated, efficient. They surrounded Council shipyards, neutralized weapons platforms, and seized communication arrays without firing a single shot. Within hours, the entire communication grid of the Council was under Earth's control. Then the final message came. It was broadcast to every inhabited world, every moon, every listening post. The envoy's voice again, steady and cold. This is Earth's final declaration. Stop attacking, or we stop pretending to be courteous. You have mistaken peace for submission, mercy for fear. We are done explaining. The next move is yours. And then the transmission ended. The silence that followed was unlike any the galaxy had ever known. Worlds that once mocked humanity now held their breath. Armadas that had prepared for war hesitated. No one wanted to find out what stop pretending to be courteous truly meant. Weeks turned into months. Trade resumed. Skirmishes ceased. The Council met less frequently. Humanity returned to its quiet progress, expanding again, but this time no one dared interfere. Even the most arrogant empires avoided human sectors. There were stories, rumors whispered among navigators, that the humans had built something colossal deep in the Perseus arm. Some said it was a new kind of fleet. Others said it was a weapon large enough to shatter a star. The truth was simpler. Humanity had learned to wield silence as a weapon. They no longer needed to prove their power. They only needed to remind others of it. One day, decades later, a lone explorer from a distant species drifted near Sol. He sent a respectful transmission requesting passage. He expected automated denial, maybe a warning. Instead, a human voice answered, calm and courteous. Permission granted. Stay to the trade routes and enjoy your journey. The explorer sighed in relief, whispering to his crew, perhaps they have softened. But when their sensors brushed against the edge of Earth's defense network, they caught a glimpse of thousands of orbital platforms, each armed, each silent. The message was clear even after centuries. Humanity remained courteous, but they were always ready to stop pretending. In time, the Council archives recorded the incident as the era of quiet resolve. Historians called it the turning point, the moment the galaxy finally understood the nature of Earth. Humanity didn't seek conquest, only respect. But when forced to choose between peace and survival, they would always choose survival. And so the stars learned a lesson written not in war, but in the shadow of restraint. The lesson was simple and eternal. Do not mistake Earth's kindness for weakness, because behind every soft-spoken human smile was a world that had already survived itself. And if pushed again, it would remind the galaxy what that survival truly meant.